Welcome to another Kaler Solutions video blog. Welcome, Bart Kaler, President and owner of Kaler Solutions. And we're here today to talk a little bit about the importance of video in marketing. And I was reading a statistic, and I know there are many statistics to gather as far as how many hours of video are watched every day. The one I read earlier today was that more than 500 million hours is watched every day just on YouTube, which isn't counting all the other platforms. Tell us a little bit about why you think internet users are so prone to video watching.
Well, I think that now we've become such a culture that's used to having our smartphones. And I think that where we used to daydream or people watch when we were standing in line at a supermarket or other places, people are now consuming content on their phones during that time. And so I think a lot of times when they're consuming that content, whether it be on social media or whether it be on YouTube, we're all using that time on our mobile devices to consume video. And so I think that that's one of the reasons why you're seeing so much more video consumption. It's easier to consume video, and you can kind of zone out with video a little bit more than you can trying to read an article or focus in on reading. And so I think that's one of the reasons why video is becoming so popular.
Absolutely. And for those that don't necessarily know a lot about Kaler Solutions, and even for those that do, our focus is on a lot of educational marketing, such as private K-12, but then also college and university level. So if I'm an education marketer, what tips do you have for me as far as how to best utilize video marketing?
Yeah, one of the things that I try to tell a lot of our clients, and a lot of our clients are smaller schools, smaller private schools, and so they might not have the budget or the team that a state university might have, for instance. And so, a lot of state universities might have an entire department dedicated to video. Well, if you have a 1 or 2 person marketing department at a school, you're not going to have the same types of resources available to you. So I think it's really important, kind of 2 things. One, figure out what you can do on the budget that you can do it on. And so a lot of times that might be just utilizing your iPhone. I've been doing a lot of videos this week on LinkedIn, kind of using their native video platform. All I'm using is my iPhone, and I have this little lavalier mic that plugs into my iPhone. And all it does is just gives me really good quality audio. And so try to figure out how you can utilize maybe what you already have. And then, you can use a lot of free tools. I use the iMovie app on the Mac or on the iPhone. Google and Android have similar apps that you can do, and just start experimenting and trying things. And I think the second thing, once you get past the hurdle of, oh, it's too much, I can't do these things because I don't have the equipment. Once you get past that, then it's a matter of figuring out where to put that video online, how to get that, distribute that into the channels. And so it's not just putting it on your website, which is one way to do it, but it's putting it out where your audience and prospective audience can discover it. And so with prospective students, let's say at a higher ed institution, you're going to want to put that out in YouTube. YouTube is the #1 search engine, the #1 social media network. People are watching, especially Generation Z is watching a lot of YouTube videos. It doesn't cost very much to get a pay-per-click ad, a bumper ad at the beginning of a Google video. And you can do that with a Google ad account. And so that's a really good way to kind of get brand awareness and get some information out about your school in that channel. Instagram's doing small videos now. Put your videos there. Keep them short. Anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute and a half is kind of ideal for those type of videos, brand awareness. A little bit longer, like what we're doing here, for something you might want to talk a little bit more about. And then I think beyond that, looking at your audiences. So if you're a secondary school, mom's the main decision maker. So look at Facebook, look at Pinterest, and as I said, with adult learners at higher ed, you're also going to be looking at Facebook and LinkedIn. So it's just a matter of making sure you have the right equipment and the right, tools, and then making sure you put the videos in the right spot.
I think it is important to get the point across that it doesn't have to break the budget. We all know that super high quality produced video is quite expensive,
Right.
and that oftentimes will scare the higher education marketer because the budget isn't there. But I think the truth is there's a lot of affordable ways to use video marketing. And yeah, you just hopefully helped our audience with that.
Well, and one thing to keep in mind too, Amy, I'm sorry, but what we have on our phones is so much better quality than 10 years ago that you could get in a professional environment. And
Absolutely.
so, I mean, we've got 4K video capabilities in our pockets now. You know, with a little bit of lighting and a little bit of discipline, you can get some good quality video even on a
Right.
phone.
Are there any drawbacks or are there any maybe hurdles that you would want to tell our audience about, or maybe even negative things that could happen using video marketing?
I think probably a couple of the drawbacks I would say is, and I've experienced this week. I've produced 6 videos for LinkedIn. It's real easy to be at the try to make it perfect, and so keeping in mind that ease yourself into it, I think is a really important thing to do. And then I think also if you do the same types of things every time, I mean, if all you're doing is talking heads, that might not appeal to your audience. And so, mixing it up with different types of video, whether it's 360 videos on YouTube, whether it's interviews and social proof with testimonials, it could be an infographic type of video. There's just a lot of ways to mix it up. So don't feel like you have to do just one thing, because if you do just one thing, that could be a detriment at the end of the day.
Excellent. Thanks so much for your time today, Bart.
Thanks, Amy. It's been great talking.